The elevator doors sealed shut with a finality that echoed like a slammed prison gate, plunging Alex into darkness so absolute it swallowed his scream before it could form. Heart slamming against his ribs, he fumbled for his phone, the screen's glow revealing Jordan's face inches away. Those same hazel eyes that had once promised forever, now wide with the shock of mutual recognition. In that suspended breath, trapped 30 floors above the indifferent hum of Manhattan, Alex realized the universe had a cruel sense of humor. The man who'd shattered his world 2 years ago was the only witness to his unraveling. Alex's mind raced back to that humid August night in Brooklyn, when Jordan had walked out of their cramped apartment on Atlantic Avenue, suitcase in hand, muttering something about needing space to figure out who he really was. It wasn't the words that gutted him, it was the way Jordan avoided his eyes, as if loving Alex had become a question mark too heavy to carry. They'd met 3 years earlier at a queer poetry slam in the Village, Alex reciting verses about hidden desires while Jordan clapped from the front row, his smile cutting through the smoke like a beacon. 6 months in, they were inseparable, lazy Sundays tangled in sheets, whispered dreams of adopting a rescue dog named after Audre Lorde. But Jordan's family, devout Catholics from upstate, started chipping away. Subtle at first, missed calls from his sister, guilt-laced dinners where his father quoted Leviticus like it was small talk. Then the cracks deepened. Jordan pulled away, nights spent scrolling Grindr just to see. He claimed, though Alex found the app open on the coffee table, notifications buzzing like accusations. Now, in this metal coffin hurtling nowhere, the air thickened with the ghosts of what-ifs. The building's power had flickered out during a storm, stranding them between the lobby and Alex's office on the 22nd floor. He'd been working late, chasing deadlines for his graphic design gig at a nonprofit focused on LGBTQ youth programs. Ironic, given how fragile his own foundations felt these days. Jordan must have been visiting a client in the tower. Fate or fiasco, it didn't matter. The emergency light hummed to life, casting a sterile blue pallor over Jordan's stubbled jaw and the faded tattoo of a phoenix on his forearm, a relic from their impulsive Vegas weekend. Alex, Jordan breathed, voice cracking like thin ice. He shifted, their knees brushing in the confined space, sending a jolt Alex hadn't prepared for. This is insane. Insane. Alex's laugh was bitter, scraping the walls. You think? 2 years of radio silence. And now we're playing elevator roulette. What? Did karma finally cash your check? Jordan winced, rubbing his neck. A telltale sign he'd always had when cornered. I deserve that. More than that. But can we not do this yelling? The button's stuck. Help's coming, but it'll take hours. Storm's messing with everything. Alex slumped against the wall, the cold steel biting through his button-down. Hours. The word hung like a sentence. He glanced at his phone. No signal, battery at 47%. No escape hatch for the conversation brewing. Part of him wanted to curl into silence, let the awkwardness fester like an untreated wound. But the fighter in him, the one who'd clawed through conversion therapy pamphlets his own conservative parents had slipped under his door in high school, wouldn't let it lie. Fine, Alex said, crossing his arms. Talk. Tell me why you ghosted after I begged you to stay. Or better yet, explain how you figured yourself out while I was picking up glass from the mirror I punched. Jordan's eyes dropped to the floor, scuffed with the ghosts of 1,000 hurried commutes. It wasn't about you, Alex. Never was. It was me, my head, my family. Dad's cancer diagnosis hit right after Pride that year. He was dying, and all he wanted was to see me straightened out before he went. Mom cried every night, saying I was killing him faster than the chemo. Alex's throat tightened. He'd known about the diagnosis. Hell, he'd sat by Jordan's side in that sterile hospital room in Syracuse, holding his hand while machines beeped like judgmental metronomes. But Jordan had sworn it wouldn't change them. So you chose them? Threw us under the bus for a deathbed absolution. No. Jordan's voice rose, echoing sharply. He caught himself, lowering it. I tried. God, I tried. But the guilt. It ate me alive. Every time I kissed you, I saw his face, heard the priest from childhood droning about eternal fire. I thought if I left, walked away clean, maybe I could salvage something with them. Be the son they needed. But it was a lie. The second I stepped out that door, I knew I'd lost the only real thing I'd ever had. The confession landed like rain on parched earth, stirring mud Alex wasn't ready to wade through. He wanted to hate Jordan, to armor himself in the betrayal that had fueled late-night runs along the East River, pounding pavement until his lungs burned. But here, in the dim glow, Jordan looked smaller, human, shoulders hunched, fingers twisting the hem of his jacket. The same jacket Alex had zipped up for him on a snowy December night, their breaths mingling in the cold. Before Alex could respond, a muffled crackle erupted from the emergency speaker. "This is building maintenance. Elevators jammed solid. Storms knocked out half the grid. Crews on the way, but with the winds, it'll be morning at least. Sit tight, folks. We've got air circulating." Morning. The word twisted in Alex's gut. A night suspended, no distractions, just them and the weight of unfinished business. He slid down to sit, knees drawn up, forcing Jordan to join him on the floor. The space felt smaller now, charged with the electricity of proximity. "Tell me about the last 2 years," Jordan said softly, after a beat of silence. "Really tell me. I stalked your Instagram like a creep, but pixels don't cut it." Alex hesitated, the vulnerability tasting like ash. But the darkness had a way of loosening tongues. "Therapy, mostly. Coming out all over again. To myself, I guess. Dated a guy named Riley last summer. Barista with a poetry tattoo and zero baggage. It was easy, uncomplicated. But it ended because, well, he wasn't you. Not the you I fell for, anyway." Jordan's face softened, a flicker of something like hope warring with regret. "Riley. He looked nice. From the pics." "Yeah, well, nice doesn't glue the pieces back." Alex's voice wavered, and he hated it. Hated how Jordan still knew his tells, how a single glance could unravel him. "What about you? Conquered the family demons? Or just buried them deeper?" Jordan sighed, leaning his head back. "Dad passed 6 months after I left. Peaceful, they said. Mom's still in denial. Blames the lifestyle for his stress. Won't even say your name. I moved to Chicago for a job, tried the straight and narrow act. Dated a woman from work, Emily. Sweet, stable. But it was theater. Broke her heart when I came out to her over coffee. Now I'm back in New York, single, seeing a shrink who specializes in religious trauma. Trying to rebuild, but it's like starting with matchsticks." The honesty stung, a mirror to Alex's own fractured path. Outside, thunder grumbled, rain lashing the shaft like impatient fingers. They fell into a rhythm then, halting at first, then flowing like a jammed conversation finally unsticking. Jordan admitted to the grinder hookups, not for sex but for validation, chasing shadows of what he'd lost. Alex confessed the panic attacks that still woke him, dreaming of Jordan's silhouette fading down the stairs. As hours ticked by, marked only by the phone's dying light, they unearthed layers neither had touched before. Jordan spoke of his first crush, a boy in Catholic school whose hand he'd held under the pews, the shame that followed like a shadow. Alex shared stories from his nonprofit, mentoring teens who'd run from homes, echoing his own parents' quiet disapproval. Mom's Bible studies laced with "pray the gay away" undertones, Dad's averted eyes at Thanksgiving. Laughter crept in unexpectedly, a release valve. "Remember that time we tried making paella and set off the smoke alarm?" Jordan's mimicry of Alex's frantic fanning had them both wheezing, the sound bouncing absurdly in their trap. But levity was fleeting, deeper currents pulled them under. "Why now?" Alex asked, voice raw as dawn's first light seeped faintly through the doors. "Why ask for a second chance in an elevator, of all places?" Jordan turned, eyes locking with an intensity that pinned Alex. "Because there's no running here. No distractions, no family calls, no escape. Just us, like it was at the beginning. And Alex, I never stopped loving you. Leaving was the biggest mistake of my life. If you'll let me, I'll spend every day proving I'm worth the risk." The words hung, a lifeline or a noose. Alex couldn't decide. His heart warred. The scars screamed caution, but the spark in Jordan's gaze whispered possibility. As the distant whine of rescue tools echoed up the shaft, Alex reached out, fingers brushing Jordan's. Not forgiveness, not yet, but a question, open-ended, in the fragile light of morning. The elevator jolted alive with a groan, doors parting to reveal a bleary-eyed maintenance crew and the gray promise of a storm-washed New York. Stepping out, legs numb, Alex felt the weight lift, not gone, but shared. Jordan lingered behind, waiting for the verdict. And in that suspended moment on the lobby's marble floor, Alex turned, voice steady. Coffee. Tomorrow. Neutral ground. We'll see if second chances stick. But as they parted ways into the drizzle-slick streets, Alex's phone buzzed. A text from his best friend Mia, the lesbian firebrand who'd held him through the breakup. Heard about the elevator drama from building gossip. You okay? Spill. He typed back, fingers flying. Not sure. But for the first time in years, I think I might be. Little did Alex know, the real storm was just brewing. Not the one outside, but the one tied to secrets Jordan still guarded, secrets that would test if forgiveness could outrun the past. The coffee shop on Bleecker Street buzzed with the morning rush, baristas calling orders like conductors in a symphony of caffeine. Alex arrived early, staking out a corner table by the window where sunlight slanted through potted ferns, casting patterns like hesitant tattoos on the scarred wood. He'd barely slept, replaying the elevator's confessions in loops that tangled hope with dread. Mia's texts had piled up overnight. Pep talks laced with warnings. Don't let him Houdini you again, babe. You've rebuilt without him. Jordan pushed through the door at 9:05, spotting Alex immediately. He carried 2 to-go cups, a peace offering of black coffee for Alex, and a chai latte for himself. Details etched from old habits. Figured you'd want it strong, he said, sliding into the seat opposite, his knee bumping Alex's under the table in a way that felt both accidental and inevitable. They sipped in silence at first, the steam curling like unspoken words. The shop's playlist hummed indie folk, a guitar riff underscoring the awkward grace of re-entry. Alex studied Jordan over the rim of his cup, the new lines around his eyes, deeper than memory allowed, spoke of nights wrestling demons alone. So, Alex ventured, setting the cup down with deliberate care. Elevator therapy. Effective, or just a fluke? Jordan's smile was tentative, crinkling the corners of his mouth. Fluke with potential. Look, I know one night doesn't erase 2 years. But it's a start. Tell me what you need from this. Boundaries, time. I'm listening. The question disarmed him. Alex had spent so long armored in anger, he'd forgotten how to articulate the ache beneath. Honesty, he said finally. No half-truths about family or doubts. And space to process. I'm not diving head first. I've got scars that itch when poked. Deal. Jordan nodded, earnest. Full disclosure. Mom's flying in next week for a visit. She's softening, maybe. Read a PFLAG book I left out. But she's still got that edge. Dinner with her could be a minefield. Alex's gut twisted. Meeting the family, again, loomed like a specter. Last time, over pot roast in their Syracuse colonial, Mrs. Hale had smiled too tightly, her questions probing like scalpels. So, Alex, what do your parents do? Traditional family. The subtext had lingered, a chill in the air. Maybe sit that one out, he suggested, voice even. Let you two navigate first. Their conversation meandered then, skirting the heavy for safer shores. Jordan's new job at a marketing firm specializing in inclusive campaigns, irony noted, led to tales of pitching rainbow ads to skeptical execs. Alex shared wins from the nonprofit. A teen who'd come out to his folks after group sessions, the raw triumph of it. Laughter bubbled up again, easier now, over Jordan's botched attempt at vegan tacos during his Chicago phase. By the time they parted, hugs lingering a beat too long on the sidewalk, something had shifted. Not trust, not fully, but a thread pulled taut, connecting without strangling. Alex walked home to his Bushwick walk-up, the brownstones whispering secrets in the autumn breeze. His phone lit up with Mia's call before he could unlock the door. Details, now, she demanded, voice crackling with big sister energy. They'd met at a women's march 5 years back, bonded over shared stories of parental frost. Mia, with her buzz cut and tattooed arms, was the rock Alex leaned on when waves crashed. Over takeout lo mein on his fire escape, he spilled it all, the elevator trap, the confessions, the coffee accord. Mia listened, chopsticks paused mid-air, her dark eyes narrowing. Sounds romantic, in a disaster movie way. But babe, remember the radio silence? The way he left you gutted at that gallery opening, pretending you were strangers. Alex nodded, the memory sharp as shattered porcelain. Jordan's hand on some colleague's shoulder, Laughter shared that should have been theirs. I do. That's why it's slow. But there's regret there, real. And I miss the good parts. The way he'd hum show tunes while cooking, off-key, but all in. Mia softened, squeezing his hand. Just guard your heart. You've got a life now, friends, work that matters. Don't let nostalgia rewrite the ending. Her words echoed as Alex prepped for bed, scrolling old photos. Them at Coney Island, cotton candy stuck in Jordan's hair, a quiet anniversary in Central Park, rings exchanged under the Bethesda fountain, not legal then, but sacred. Sleep came fitful, dreams weaving elevators into endless drops. The week blurred into a tentative rhythm. Texts evolved from cautious check-ins to shared memes. Jordan sending a clip of a drag queen roasting homophobes, Alex firing back with a nonprofit event invite. They met twice more, a walk through Washington Square Park, leaves crunching underfoot like brittle apologies, a matinee at an indie theater, shoulders brushing in the dark, the film's queer romance mirroring too closely for comfort. Then came the call from Jordan's mom. Alex was sketching logos for a youth hotline when his phone rang, an unknown Syracuse number. Heart stuttering, he answered. Alex? It's Evelyn Hale. Her voice was polished, laced with that Midwestern lilt masking steel. Jordan mentioned you too. Reconnecting. I wondered if you'd join us for dinner Friday. Neutral ground. Patsy's in Midtown. No pressure. The invitation dangled like bait. Part of him screamed no, flashbacks to passive-aggressive jabs over green beans. But curiosity, that stubborn spark, won. Sure, he said, surprising himself. I'd like that. Mia was apoplectic when he told her. Are you masochistic? Evelyn Hale, queen of veiled barbs? Pump the brakes. But Alex held firm. It's progress. Or a spectacular flameout. Either way, I learn. Friday arrived with a bite in the air, New York's skyline etched in twilight as Alex rode the subway uptown. Patsy's glowed like a beacon, red checkered tables, and the scent of garlic bread enveloping him. Jordan waited at a booth, fidgeting with a napkin, his mom beside him, silver-streaked hair pinned back, pearls at her throat. Alex, dear, Evelyn said, rising for a hug that felt obligatory. Her grip was firm, eyes appraising. You look well. Jordan says you're doing important work. Small talk flowed like watered wine. Weather, traffic, Jordan's promotion. Then Evelyn leaned in, voice dropping. I owe you an apology. For before, I was scared, for him, for us. Faith's a funny thing. It blinds you to what's right in front of your eyes. The words landed softly, but Alex searched for the catch. It hurt, he admitted, meeting her gaze. But I get fear. My folks pulled the same playbook. A beat of understanding passed, fragile as spun glass. Jordan watched, breath held, as Evelyn reached across, patting Alex's hand. To new chapters, then. Dinner stretched, stories unfolding. Evelyn's secret subscription to The Advocate, her quiet support for a gay cousin shunned decades ago. Laughter came, genuine, over Jordan's childhood antics, stealing communion wafers to trade for baseball cards. By dessert, tiramisu, shared 3 ways. The table felt less like a battlefield, more like neutral territory. Outside, under the marquee, Evelyn pulled Alex aside. He's lucky to have another shot with you. Don't let him squander it. The subway ride home buzzed with afterglow. Jordan's text followed. That was huge. Thank you. But as Alex unlocked his door, a knock echoed. Unexpected, insistent. Mia stood there, takeout bags in hand, expression thunderous. Emergency intervention. I saw the dinner pics on Jordan's story. Spill, and don't sugarcoat. Over dumplings and wine, the doubts poured out. It went well, too well? Like, is this real, or are we both just lonely? Mia swirled her glass, eyes sharp. Reels earned, not gifted. Watch for red flags. And hey, if it crashes, you've got me. Always. Sleep that night was deeper, but dawn brought a curveball. A voicemail from Alex's mom, voice trembling. Son, your father and we saw that article in the paper about your work. It's brave. Call us. The message cracked something open, a fissure in the wall he'd built. As he dialed back, Jordan's morning text pinged, thinking of you. Park run later. Life, it seemed, was stitching threads, tangled, but pulling toward light. Yet beneath the mending, shadows stirred. Jordan's silences grew longer some evenings. excuses about work calls veiling something unspoken. Alex noticed, but chalked it up to adjustment. Until the night a mutual friend, Theo, non-binary artist from their old circle, dropped a bomb at a gallery opening in Chelsea. "Spotted you two looking cozy," Theo said, hugging Alex amid swirling wine glasses and abstract nudes on canvas. Their locks swung as they leaned in, voice low. "But word on the street, Jordan's been seen with that colleague, Mark. The one from Chicago. Nothing major, but vibes." The name hit like ice water. Mark, the straight ally who'd always lingered too long at parties. Alex forced a smile, heart hammering. "Probably nothing. Thanks for the heads up." But doubt seeded, sprouting thorns as he navigated the crowd, eyes scanning for Jordan. There, across the room, laughing with a group, but his gaze flicked to Alex, guilty-edged. The night ended early, excuses muttered, cab ride home a blur of what-ifs. Confrontation brewed, slow as storm clouds over the harbor. The next day, Alex texted, "Gallery was fun. Talk tonight." Jordan's reply, "Absolutely. Pick you up at 7. Dinner at a quiet Soho bistro became the arena. Candlelight danced on wine stems as Alex laid it bare. Theo mentioned Mark. "Chicago Mark. What's the story?" Jordan's fork paused, color draining. "Mark? He's just a friend. Helped me through the breakup with Emily. We grab beers sometimes. Nothing more." The words rang true, but the evasion in his eyes didn't. "Be straight with me." Alex pressed, voice low. Elevator promises, no half-truths. A sigh escaped Jordan, heavy. "Okay. Mark's complicated. He came out last year, after I did. We talked a lot. About faith, family, the mess. There were feelings on his end. Maybe mine once. But I shut it down. Told him about you, about wanting this." The admission sliced, fresh betrayal mingling with old. "So I'm the consolation? The safe bet after chasing what you couldn't have?" "No." Jordan reached across, desperate. "You're the one I chose to fight for. Mark was a mirror, showing me what I almost became. But you, it's always been you." Tears pricked, hot, and unwelcome. Alex pulled back, chair scraping. "I need air. Time." He walked out into the neon-veined night, blocks blurring as sobs caught in his throat. Mia's place was a haven, door flung open to her embrace, story tumbling out amid tissues and tea. "You're a saint for trying," she murmured, stroking his hair. "But saints get crucified. Cut the cord if it bleeds." Days blurred into a chasm. No calls, just space, a mercy and a mourning. Work became anchor, mentoring sessions with kids whose eyes mirrored his younger self, fierce and frightened. One boy, Jamie, 14 and fresh from a shelter, clutched Alex's card like talisman. "You get it, right? The hiding. Every day," Alex whispered. "But you don't have to hide forever." Jordan respected the silence, save one letter slipped under the door, handwritten, pages thick. "I'm sorry," it began. "For the shadows I cast. Therapy's digging deeper. Mark's out of the picture, boundaries set. But I get if it's too late. Know I love you always." The words blurred through tears, a dam breaking. Alex called Mia, voice cracking. "Read it." "What now?" Her pause stretched. "Your heart, babe. But don't rush." Reentry was glacial. A neutral walk in Prospect Park, leaves gold-flecked underfoot. Jordan waited on a bench, no expectations in his posture. They talked, not of Mark, but of dreams deferred, adopting that dog, maybe, or a road trip upstate to scatter Jordan's dad's ashes with grace. Trust rebuilt brick by brick, but cracks lingered. Evelyn's next visit brought warmth. Brunch where she shared photos of Jordan as a kid in a feather boa, family lore reframed. Alex's parents, thawing slowly, sent a care package, rainbow socks, a note reading "Proud, in our way." Winter crept in, snow dusting the bridges like forgiveness powder. Christmas Eve found them at Mia's potluck, a queer-chosen family orbiting the tree. Theo spinning yarns, laughter echoing. Jordan's gift to Alex, a custom sketchpad, cover etched with their elevator date. "For the stories we haven't written yet." As midnight told, they slipped out to the fire escape, city lights a constellation below. Jordan's arm around Alex's waist, tentative. "This okay?" "Yeah." Alex breathed, leaning in. The kiss was soft, exploratory, not fire, but embers rekindling. But fate, ever the trickster, had one more twist cued. Spring unfurled in New York like a hesitant confession. Cherry blossoms shedding petals on gusts that carried the scent of renewal and exhaust. Alex and Jordan navigated the season with cautious optimism, their rhythms syncing like a playlist finally in order. Movie nights in Alex's apartment, brunches where Evelyn video called with recipes and reluctant jokes. The Mark's shadow faded, therapy sessions for both yielding breakthroughs. Jordan unpacking paternal ghosts, Alex voicing the abandonment fears that therapy had only grazed. Yet undercurrents rippled. Alex's nonprofit launched a citywide campaign. Out loud, stories unsilenced, billboards of queer youth dotting subways, faces bold against graffiti tags. Jordan threw himself into promotion, leveraging his firm's network, but whispers circled. A donor, conservative-leaning, balked at pushing agendas. Tensions simmered, unspoken. One balmy May evening, as they strolled the High Line, rails repurposed into gardens, wildflowers nodding in the breeze, Jordan's phone buzzed incessantly. He silenced it twice before excusing himself to a bench, voice low. Alex pretended not to notice, tracing a graffiti hard on the railing, but curiosity gnawed. "Everything good?" he asked upon return, tone light. Jordan pocketed the phone, smile strained. "Work stuff. Big pitch tomorrow. Clients antsy." The lie tasted off, like milk soured overnight. Alex nodded, filing it away, but sleep that night was restless, dreams of elevators plummeting into voids. The pitch landed big, headlines in Ad Age, Jordan's name toasted at industry mixers. Celebration dinner at Gramercy Tavern became confessional ground. Over seared scallops, Alex probed gently. "Those calls lately. Who's the mystery texter?" Jordan's fork clattered, eyes widening. "You noticed?" "Shit. It's my sister, Lena. She's pregnant. Surprise baby with her ex, the deadbeat. Asking for money, advice, the works. I didn't want to dump it on you while things were good." Relief washed Alex, mingled with guilt for doubting. "Hey, we're in this. Talk to me. Families are marathons, not sprints." The dam broke then. Lena's chaos, a mirror to Jordan's own upheavals, pulling him into caretaker mode. "She reminds me of me, back then. Lost, lashing out. Mom's enabling, as usual." Alex listened, hand over Jordan's, the restaurant's hum fading. "Boundaries, remember? Help, but don't drown." Their bond deepened in the sharing, vulnerability a glue stronger than passion's flash. June brought pride, parades thundering down Fifth Avenue, rainbows unfurling like banners of defiance. They marched with the nonprofit contingent, signs aloft. "Love wins, but fight first." Mia linked arms on one side, Theo on the other, a phalanx against the counter-protesters' jeers. Jordan's eyes shone, arm around Alex's waist, a public claim that felt like victory. Post-parade, rooftop party at a friend's in Williamsburg, beats pulsing, bodies swaying under string lights. Alex pulled Jordan to a quiet corner, lips brushing ear. "Proud of you. Of us." The kiss that followed was fierce, affirming, the city's pulse syncing with theirs. But as confetti rained, Jordan's phone lit up again. Not Lena, but a number Alex didn't recognize. Jordan glanced, paling, and stepped away to answer. Eavesdropping wasn't intentional, but the rooftop's acoustics betrayed. "I can't keep doing this. It's over. Tell him, or I will." The words froze Alex, blood roaring. He slipped inside, heart a drum solo, finding Mia by the bar. "Need backup. Now." She pulled him to a shadowed booth, story spilling in hushed urgency. Mia's face hardened, protective fire igniting. "Go home. Confront tomorrow, clear-headed. I'll crash there if you want." Alone in the cab, Manhattan's lights streaked like accusations. Alex's mind spun scenarios. Mark Redix? A Klein affair? The elevator's raw honesty felt distant, a myth. Morning brought clarity's blade. Jordan arrived with bagels and apologies for the late night, but Alex cut through. "Who were you talking to last night?" "The rooftop call." "Tell him, or I will." Sound familiar? Jordan's face crumpled, bag crinkling in his grip. "Alex. Lena. No, wait. It's worse." The story unraveled over cooling coffee. Lena's ex, Tommy, a gambler with ties to Jordan's past. A brief, disastrous stint in college poker rings. Tommy had resurfaced, blackmailing Jordan with old photos. Not incriminating, but humiliating. Drunk Jordan, mid-coming-out meltdown at a frat party. Vulnerable captured. He wants cash to stay quiet. Thinks it'll hurt mom if it leaks. I was handling it. Lawyers involved. But last night, he threatened to call you. Bluff, probably. Rage and sorrow collided in Alex's chest. Why hide it? We said no secrets. Because I didn't want to drag you into my family's dumpster fire again. You deserve clean, not chaos. But chaos is us. Alex shot back, voice breaking. The messy, the real. Hiding makes it poison. Tears tracked Jordan's cheeks. Raw? I know. I'm scared of losing you to this crap. You're my anchor. The argument ebbed into exhaustion, arms entwining on the couch, promises renewed. Transparency, no matter the ugliness. Jordan filed a police report that afternoon, Tommy's threats documented, a restraining order in motion. Lena, confronted, chose sides, cutting Tommy off, leaning on her brother for the first time without resentment. Summer heat wave blanketed the city, air thick as unresolved tension. They escaped to Fire Island for a weekend, beaches fringed with dunes, Queer Haven pulsing with volleyball games and bonfires. No cell service, just waves crashing like catharsis. Jordan taught Alex to body surf, laughter salting the sea spray. Nights in a borrowed cottage, windows open to cricket choruses, they talked until dawn. Childhoods dissected, futures sketched, maybe a place upstate, roots away from concrete grind. Back in the city, the blackmail fizzled, Tommy slinking away, tail between legs. But victory tasted bittersweet, trust fracture lingered, a hairline crack under pressure. Enter Riley, the ex from last summer, now a fixture in Alex's orbit via nonprofit events. Barista no more, he'd pivoted to counseling, his easy smile a reminder of simpler days. At a fundraiser gala in the Puck building, chandeliers dripping light, Riley cornered Alex by the hors d'oeuvres. You look happy. Jordan treating you right. The question pricked, old affections stirring. Mostly. Bumps, but yeah. Riley's hand on his arm was casual, but the spark? Undeniable. If it sours, you know where to find me. No strings. Guilt followed Alex home, a shadow. Jordan sensed it that night, over late-night pizza. Something up? You were distant at the gala. Alex confessed. The chat, the flicker. Not pursuing, but it made me think. Are we solid, or just scared to be alone? Jordan's eyes searched, vulnerable. Solid, I hope. But let's check in. Date nights, no work talk. Recommit. They did. Salsa lessons in a Harlem studio, hips swaying to conga drums, a weekend in the Catskills, hiking trails where birdsong drowned doubts. Evelyn visited, bearing jam and a tentative hug for Alex. Family's what we make. Alex's parents, progress glacial, invited them for Labor Day barbecue in Jersey, grill smoke veiling awkward grace. Dad clapped Jordan's back too hard. Mom's potato salad laced with questions. Plans for the future? But the undercurrent? Acceptance's whisper. Autumn leaves turned, mirroring internal shifts. Mia, ever vigilant, hosted a relationship audit dinner, cards with prompts. What scares you most? Jordan's answer, losing you to my baggage. Drew nods, Mia's seal partial. Then, the call that shattered the idol, nonprofit board meeting, donor pullout. The conservative backer, spooked by militant pride ties, yanked funding, $50K hole. Alex's boss, Elena, paced her office. We pivot, but it hurts. Youth programs first to cut. Devastation hit like flu, Alex confiding in Jordan over wine. These kids, they need us. It's my lifeline. Jordan's jaw set. My firm's in. I'll pitch internal funds, pro bono. The move bridged worlds. Jordan's corporate savvy fueling Alex's passion. Late nights brainstorming, laptops aglow, reignited the spark that started it all. Thanksgiving loomed, families converging. Evelyn hosted, table groaning with turkey and trimmings. Lena arrived, bump showing, ex-drama diffused. Toasts rang. To chosen and blood, all tangled in love. Alex's folks joined via Zoom, pixels warming with smiles. Miss you boys, Mom said unprompted. Post-feast walk in Central Park, scarves whipping, Jordan stopped under a lamppost. Marry me? Not now, but someday. When we're ready. The question hung, stars pricking the sky. Alex's yes was soft, a promise etched in frost-kissed air. But as winter's chill deepened, an email pinged. Anonymous, attached photo. Jordan and Mark, arms slung casual at a bar, timestamp recent. Truth hurts, the note read. Panic surged, trust's fragile rebuild teetering. Alex forwarded to Mia. What now? Again. Her reply. Confront. But remember, love's not blind. It's brave. The storm, it seemed, was far from past. December's grip tightened on New York, holiday lights twinkling like defiant stars against the encroaching dark. The email burned in Alex's inbox, a digital Molotov. Jordan's laugh captured mid-frame, Mark's hand on his shoulder proprietary. Timestamp. 2 weeks ago, during that late client dinner. Alex's hands shook as he printed it, paper curling like his resolve. He waited until morning, confrontation's fire banked overnight. Jordan stirred in bed, sleep-rumpled, oblivious. Over eggs and coffee in the sun-dappled kitchen, Alex slid the printout across the table. Explain. Jordan's fork dropped, color fleeing. Alex. Shit. It's not. What it looks. Alex's voice was steel, honed by too many rehearsals. Arms around, cozy bar. While I'm home, trusting. Jordan scrubbed his face, anguish etching lines. It's Lena's doing. Tommy's payback? He hacked her phone, sent this to stir shit. Mark and I met once, coffee, to discuss his coming-out book. That's it. Swear. Doubt warred with memory's echo, the elevator's vows, the Catskills' clarity. Why coffee with him? After everything. Because he's a friend in the trenches. Religious trauma club. But boundaries, I told him about us, firm. This photo? Staged angle, bad timing. Alex wanted to believe, the pull visceral. But scars whispered caution. Prove it. Call him. Now. Jordan did, speakerphone amplifying the awkward. Mark's flustered denial, confirmation of the meet, strictly platonic, photo cropped maliciously. I'd never sabotage you two. Jordan's all in. Relief trickled, but trust's dam leaked. Tommy again, Alex muttered. This ends. Lawyer up, full stop. Jordan nodded, fervent. Already on it. Restraining, cybercrime report. No more shadows. The incident catalyzed action. Joint therapy session with a queer couples counselor, Dr. Reyes, a no-nonsense Latina with a knack for untangling knots. Trust isn't rebuilt in vacuums, she said, glasses perched. It's daily deposits. What do you need, Alex? Transparency logs, he decided. Shared calendars, open phones. Not control, safety. Jordan agreed. No hesitation. The practice felt invasive at first, but yielded intimacy. Jordan's therapy notes shared, vulnerabilities bared like offerings. Holidays amplified the mending. Christmas at Evelyn's, tree aglow, Lena's ultrasound framed on the mantel. Gifts exchanged. Alex's sketch of the family, Phoenix rising from flames. Jordan's mom pulled him aside, eggnog in hand. You've got to keep her. Don't let go. New Year's Eve found them at Mia's bash. Ball drop on TV, champagne flutes clinking. Theo led a midnight ritual. Burn the bullshit. Notes of grudges torched in a fire pit. Alex's red doubts. Jordan's secrets. Ashes swirling into night. Winter thawed into tentative bloom. The nonprofit's funding gap closed via Jordan's firm infusion. Elena hugging Alex fierce. Your man's a gem. Keep him. Spring's renewal mirrored theirs. Park picnics. Jordan's proposal ring. A simple band, pocketed for someday. But undercurrents persisted. Tommy's case dragged. Court dates looming like storm fronts. May brought crisis. Lena's water broke early. Complications sending her to NYU Langone. Jordan paced Alex's apartment, phone glued to ear. She's stable, but preemie risks. Mom's a wreck. Go, Alex urged. Family first. I'll hold the fort. Jordan's drive to the city was a blur, Alex following by train. Hospital corridors hummed sterile, but the nursery's window revealed miracle. Tiny Eliza rose, fists waving defiance. Lena, exhausted but beaming, clutched Jordan's hand. Uncle Judy's start now. Evelyn's tears flowed free. God provides, she whispered, cross-forgotten in the moment. Alex watched from the hall, heart swelling. Family, fractured but fierce. Jordan pulled him in, arm around shoulders. It's everything. Back in rhythm, summer sizzled. Beach weekends with Mia and Theo, volleyball spiking like joy. Jordan's book club, queer lit dives, drew Alex in, discussions sparking till dawn. But August echoed old wounds. Dad's health scare, a mild heart episode sending Alex racing to Jersey. Hospital room heavy with beeps, Mom's hand in his. "We should have said it sooner," she murmured. "You're our son. Love's love." Dad, tubes snaking, gripped Alex's fingers. Proud kid. Jordan too. The absolution healed fissures Alex hadn't named. Calling Jordan from the parking lot, voice thick. "They get it." Finally, Jordan's whoop echoed. "Road trip south? Celebrate." Labor Day getaway to the Outer Banks. Beaches endless, lighthouses sentinel. Crab boils and bonfires. Jordan's stories of boyhood vacations weaving with Alex's. One night, under Milky Way sprawl, Jordan knelt on sand. "Some days today, marry me." Alex's yes tangled with waves, rings slipping on salt-slick finger, sapphire, evoking elevator glow. News spread. Mia's squeal, Evelyn's teary call, even Lena's hospital FaceTime cheers. Planning brewed, small, intimate, rooftop affair. Fall's palette deepened, wedding whispers amid leaf piles. Venue hunt. A Brooklyn garden, arbors blooming late roses. Invites hand calligraphed, guest list intimate. Mia as best woman, Theo officiant. But November's chill carried frost. Tommy's trial date set. Subpoena summoning Jordan. "Testify," the DA urged. "Shut this down." Courtroom in Brooklyn Heights loomed stark. Jordan's suit crisp, hands clammy. Alex sat front row, Mia beside, solidarity steel. Testimony poured. Threats detailed, fears toll laid bare. Tommy, shackled, glared, defiance crumbling under cross-exam. Verdict: guilty, harassment, and extortion. Sentence light, but closure heavy, relief washing like rain. Post-trial toast at home. To endings that birth beginnings. December circled back, anniversary of the trap. They recreated it. Charter elevator tour, lights dimmed playful. Laughter echoed, kisses ceiling. Wedding day dawned crisp, January's sun gilding the skyline. Rooftop vows exchanged, city vast below. Mia's toast. To love that survives elevators and exes, fierce, flawed, forever. Jordan's eyes locked. "You save me, Alex." Every day. But as cake cut, an envelope arrived. Anonymous, postmarked Syracuse. Inside, faded letter, Evelyn's script. "Dearest boys, a gift from Dad's things. Read together." Unfolding. Yellowed pages, Jordan's father penning confessions to his own unspoken struggles, a brother lost to AIDS in the 80s, regrets, unspoken. "Love bravely, son. It's the only redemption." Tears fell, circle complete. Evelyn, beaming, hugged them. He'd be proud. Honeymoon in Provincetown. Whale watches, dunes kissed by fog. Nights wrapped in quilts, futures mapped, adoption dreams, upstate plot. Back home, life pulsed. Eliza's christening, secular twist, nonprofit expansion. Doubts, faded photographs, lessons etched. 1 year on, another storm, power flicker, but no trap. Light steady, hands clasped. "We made it," Alex whispered. Jordan's smile. "And we're just starting." Yet in quiet moments, Alex pondered the universe's jest, that elevator not curse, but catalyst. Love, he knew, thrived in confrontations, blooming from confrontations faced. Years folded like well-worn maps, New York evolving around them, skylines spiking higher, their love rooting deeper. The brownstone in Bed-Stuy came 2 springs post-wedding, a fixer-upper with creaky stairs and potential etched in every crack. Jordan's firm promoted him to creative director. Campaigns now championing intersectional voices. Alex's nonprofit scaled statewide. Satellites in Buffalo and Albany mentoring the next wave. Eliza's toddler chaos invaded weekends. Lena's co-parenting village including them. Playdates dissolving into family lore. "Uncle Alex, push higher," she'd squeal on the swing, curls bouncing like Jordan's. Evelyn softened fully, volunteering at a local PFLAG chapter, her Bible annotated with affirming margins. Alex's parents, retired to Florida, visited biannually, golf with Jordan, recipes swapped with Mom. Healing's arc bent slow, but true. Mia married Theo in a vineyard vow renewal, elopement style. Alex best man, speech weaving their elevator tale as metaphor. Love traps us to free us. Challenges crested, inevitable. Jordan's promotion stress birthed insomnia. Old family triggers flaring. Nights pacing, whispering fears of inadequacy. Alex countered with grounding rituals. Midnight walks, hands linked, city serenade. Alex's hit a wall too. Burnout from endless grants. A teen mentee's suicide attempt shattering his armor. Hospital vigil, then therapy dive. Dr. Reyes again, solo. You're human, not hero. Boundaries breathe life. They leaned, unbreaking. Adoption pursuit launched. Home studies, profiles polished. Weight stretched, hearts tugged by every baby coo. Then, lightning. Match email, newborn boy, foster to adopt, mom overwhelmed. Gabriel, they named him, tiny fists clutching Jordan's finger in NICU glow. Homecoming blurred tears and bottles, nights tag-teaming feeds. Parenthood reshaped, diaper dashes, lullabies improvised. Jordan's off-key, hallelujah, for Gabe's colic. Alex's sketches captured it. Family portraits, phoenixes entwined. But shadows lingered, familial. Lena's relapse, postpartum depression spiraling into isolation, drew Jordan homeward, weeks in Syracuse supporting. Distance tested, texts tethering. Miss your coffee breath, Alex quipped. Return brought recommit. Date night at their old village slam, Alex reciting vows anew. Gabe's firsts accumulated, crawl across the rug, Dad dual claimed. Pride parade that year, Gabe in rainbow sling, became annual rite. Float waves, counter protests met with signs, future is fluid. Evelyn's 60th, surprise party in Central Park, carousel spins and cake. Dad's ghost honored, toast to brave hearts. Alex's 40th loomed, milestone laced with reflection. Surprise bash at the High Line, Mia orchestrating, blindfold whisk to rooftop. Jordan's gift, custom elevator plaque, engraved. Where we began, and begin again. Speech slurred sentimental. To traps turned treasures. Winter's gift, second adoption, sister to Gabe, 4-year-old Maya, braids and wary eyes from group home. Siblings bonded fierce, Maya's hugs thawing Gabe's toddler tyranny. School runs ensued, PDA politics navigated, queer dads fielding stares, but allies emerging. 2 moms down the block, Jordan noted. Solidarity. Career pivots. Alex penned memoir, Elevated Hearts, publisher buzz, book tour whispers. Jordan directed a doc on religious exits, premiering at Tribeca. Tensions simmered domestic. Gabe's tantrums testing patience. Maya's nightmares echoing past hurts. Couples retreat in the Berkshires. Woods whispering, workshops on parenting the inner child. Breakthrough. Jordan admitting foster fears. What if I'm like dad absent? Alex's counter. You're here. That's rewrite. Anniversaries marked. 5th with vow renewal. Intimate. Theo officiating. Kids flower tossing. In darkness, we found light. Jordan pledged. 10th wedding milestone. Europe jaunt. Kids with grandparents. Paris cafes. Venice gondolas. Rekindling amid cobblestones. Back stateside. Legacy built. Nonprofit gala honoring them. Youth testimonials. You showed me hiding's optional. Crisis crested mid-40s. Jordan's health scare. Routine check flagging arrhythmia. Echo of dad's. ER-. Alex's hand vice grip. Not leaving. Jordan rasped. Kids need bedtime stories. Cath cleared. Lifestyle tweaks. Yoga meds. Bond fortified. Mortality's nudge sharpening joys. Empty nest loomed distant, but prep began. College funds. Talks with Maya on identity. You're you love. Labels optional. Evelyn's passing came gentle. 90s surrounded. Eulogy co-delivered. Jordan's voice steady. She chose love's harder path. We carry it. Inheritance. Upstate cabin. Summers with grandkids to be. Alex's book soared. Bestseller whispers. Talks. Signings. Jordan's film Oscar buzzed. Red carpet arm in arm. 60th synced. Joint bash. Rooftop redux. Toasts toasted endurance. From elevator to eternity. Retirement beckoned. Nonprofit advisory. Firm consulting. Travel dreams. Asia treks. Africa safaris. Gabe's wedding, non-binary partner, garden ceremony. Maya's art opening, galleries aglow. Grandkids arrived. First, little Jordanine, curls defiant. Rocking chair vigils, stories spun. Once, daddy trapped in elevator. Legacy whispered, love's not absence of storm, but dancing in rain. Final years, hands veined and linked, Hudson porch sways. Best mistake, Jordan mused. Alex's grin, best trap. Fade to lights out, hearts synced, elevator ascent eternal. In the hush of twilight years, the brownstone stood sentinel, walls whispering of laughter and laments past. Gabe and Maya, grown into worlds of their own. Gabe engineering bridges in Boston, Maya curating exhibits in LA. Visited with partners and progeny, filling rooms with echoes of youth. Grandkids tumbled, Jordanine, now 10, sketching beside Alex. Maya's twins, rambunctious inventors dismantling toys for upgrades. Jordan's hair silvered fully, Alex's streaked with white. Distinguished, Mia teased at annual reunions, her own brood a whirlwind. You two? Still disgustingly cute. Philanthropy evolved. Foundation seeded from book royalties, funding queer elder care. Ironic, as they navigated it. No closets in retirement. Jordan quipped at board meets. Travel scratched itches. Iceland's auroras, Japan's cherry whispers, photos pinned, stories for grand raps. Reflections deepened. Podcast collab, trapped no more. Guests sharing traps, turned triumphs. Listeners wrote, your story saved mine. Family milestones cascaded. Gabe's first home, Maya's gallery solo. Weddings woven, vows echoing theirs. Evelyn's garden, upstate, bloomed wild. Annual pilgrimage, weeding with wine. Crises crested soft. Pandemic shadow, isolations bridged by Zooms, vaccines relief. We've trapped before, Jordan joked. This? Breeze. Losses layered. Alex's dad, quiet fade. Mia's battle won, but scars. Vigils held, hands clasped. 70 beckoned. Cruise gala, ocean vast. Toasts to decades danced. Illness arrived unbidden. Jordan's, pancreatic, stealthy. Diagnosis dropped like stone. Months, maybe. Treatments trialed, hopes hedged. Alex's vigil intimate. Hospital gowns, home hospice. Regrets. Jordan wheezed one dawn. None. You. Only not sooner. Kids rallied. Grandkids' drawings taped bedside. Mia's visits fierce. Fight dirty hails. Final days, cabin retreat. Woods cradling, family orbiting. Last words, Jordan's whisper. Love you, elevator boy. Passing gentle, sunrise gilding. Grief's wave crashed. Alex adrift, brownstone echoing. Therapy solo, Dr. Reyes retired but zooming. Mourn wide. He lives in you. Memorial rooftop, stories swapped, laughter amid tears. Gabe's eulogy, dad taught traps are temporary. Life resumed, textured, solo travels, grandkid sleepovers. Memoir sequel, second chances, eternal. 80 dawned, honors accrued. Mayoral key, nonprofit namesake wing. Partners new? None. Jordan's imprint indelible. 90s Eve, family feast, tales retold. That elevator, Alex grinned, best plot twist. Fade gentle, sleep deep. Reunion awaited, doors parting. Legacy, love's echo, unending ascent.